Hello everyone, this is Breanna Rutter, author of the book The Natural Hair Bible and founder of howtoblackhair.breannarutter. And for these special videos, I love to answer all of the questions that you all send me via email. So if you have any more additional questions that you would like for me to answer, be sure to check down below in the description box for more information. So without further ado, we're going to get right on into the topic. And the topic of this video is about sealing your braids. So a lady named Octavia emailed me. She said, "Hey Breanna, every time I do my braids, they always unravel on me, and throughout the day I have to keep re-braiding the very bottom of my braids." So she wants me to give her some suggestions as far as what to do and how to stop them from unraveling. So the very first thing that I always suggest, no matter what kind of style you have when it comes to braid or twist extensions, is that you dip the ends in extremely hot water. This is the best and most safest way that you can seal the ends of your braids. When you're sealing the ends of your braids or your twists, they will not unravel on you if you dip them in hot water. And I know you're probably thinking, okay, how is hot water going to help my braids from unraveling? What it does is that it really locks in all of the fibers together and forces them to stay intertwined within one another. When you just braid the ends of your braids, it's very easy for them to unravel, but the hot water reinforces the bond of your braids and your twists, which prevents them from unraveling. So what you want to do is make sure that you use an amount of water, whether you have a cup of water or a bowl of water, preferably a cup. So what you want to do is make sure that that water starts to boil or reach boiling temperature. As soon as that happens, the water is as hot as it can get, and then you can dip your braids. You don't want to use lukewarm water because it will do nothing for you, and the water is not hot enough to really harden and lock all the fibers of your extensions together to prevent them from unraveling. So in the description box below, I have some links to my methods of how I seal my braids or my twist, and some things that you can go along with as you incorporate them into your hairstyle. So the second method of sealing your braids or your twist is to use a braid sealer. I have started using a braid sealer this year and I absolutely love it. I highly suggest that you use a braid sealer because it's so common for a lot of people to either use a candle lighter or a cigarette lighter, and sometimes, in some cases, those flames can sneak up your extensions. Now I know for the more novice or more experienced person, they never have a problem with this, but it's not always the safest way that you should seal your braids or twists just because that's the way everyone else does it. I hate using a cigarette lighter or a candle lighter on my braids or twist because, first of all, the fibers are so hot and you usually have to kind of rub them with your fingers to get that end sealed really good, and that stuff always sticks to my skin and it burns so bad that I just want to rip the braids off and just throw them somewhere because it bothers me so much to have to do that to seal my braids. So from that point on, I only seal them with water or I use a braid sealer. And the type of braid sealer I use is just a tool that has a very hot teeth in the middle of it, and you use a clamp kind of squeezer or plunger to open it up and close it around the braid. And the heat just melts it right into place, and you could just separate the bottom from the top, and you never have to roll the little ends to make them look neat or pinch off the melted fibers to do that. So I highly suggest this for when you are sealing your braids. Now the other exception is when you're not braiding to the very bottoms and you don't want that kind of burn sealed end or having to dip them in hot water, especially if the ends are curled. So what I suggest is you get some regular nail glue or super glue to seal your braids. When I used to do my micro braids or my extension braids, I like to braid it with hair that was curly or wavy at the end. So lately I just really like to use just regular braiding hair, and I like to have them to the bottom. But that was a moment where I like to have the ends more free and more curly or wavy. So what I would do is braid down far enough down my hair, and I always suggest that you braid about 2 to 4 inches past your hair just to make sure you don't glue it. And then you take some typical nail glue or super glue and you drop about 2 or 3 dots right where you want the braid to end. You blow on it a little bit or just wave it just a little bit so the glue can dry up, which it does already. And then you release it and your braid won't unravel. So that's a third way that you can seal your braids. And that way, what I suggested with the glue is specifically if you want the ends to be loose. If you don't want the ends to be loose and you want to braid them all the way to the bottom, then dip them in hot water. That's the best thing you can do. Or you could seal them with a braid sealer. So those are all of my suggestions as far as it goes with sealing your braids. And specifically for Octavia, she braids her own hair, but they always unravel. So I'm guessing she doesn't want to just seal them with a braid sealer to have that perfect end. So you should dip your ends of your braids in extremely hot water, dry them off, and you'll be good to go. So I hope that has helped you and helped all of you who are watching. And remember, if you have any questions, be sure to check the description box for more information. So until then, I'll see you all in my next video.